Hey, what's up? What's going on, everyone? Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing fantastic, and all is well at everyone's end. Your friend Dean Kulaweera here every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone. I'm right here to help you folks out with job search tips and advice, recruitment tips and advice. So, look, whether you're a job seeker, whether you're an IT professional, which is the majority of my viewers out there, or whether you're a hiring manager, part of a hiring team, whatever the case is, I try to talk about topics that impact and influence hiring and recruitment across the board. So don't be shy. Feel free to introduce yourself in the comments. For those of you tuning in for the first time, welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you get a lot of great value out of today's session, and hopefully, I'm able to deliver enough value to make you, follow me or connect with me or reach out to me, and just have us get in communication. So today, what I'm going to be speaking about, folks, is at job interviews, should you be focusing on individual or team contributions? All right, so that's going to be today's topic, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Like, what are you doing if you're a job seeker? If you're an applicant, you're a job applicant. What are you talking about? Are you talking about more so your individual contributions? Are you talking about your team contributions collectively as part of a team? Is it a mix of both? And if so, like what percent? Is it like 50-50? Is it more 70, 70-30, 60-40? What's the split? Like, feel free to let us know in the comments. And if you're a hiring manager or if you're a recruiter, definitely love to hear about what are you listening for? Are you listening more for someone's individual contributions or more so their team contributions? Like, what is more important to you as a hiring manager? Or if you're someone representing kind of the recruitment process at your organization, what is more important for you as a recruiter if you're someone who's working in recruitment, right? So that's going to be today's topic. And again, love to hear your feedback on that. We got my friend Sneha in the house. Good morning to you as well, Sneha. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing fantastic. And long time no see. So hope you're doing great, my friend. All right. So that being said, whoa, what happened? My comments just suddenly disappeared. All right, I got it back. So that being said, folks, if you are getting value out of today's segment as we go along, don't forget to hit like and comment with your own thoughts and all that stuff. And feel free to share it with anyone in your network who might be actively interviewing at this time. If you want to follow me on my other social channels, by the way, shout out to everyone on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter who are tuning in. So this is multi-streaming on those three platforms today. Shout out to everyone on there. But I'm also active on all the other social media platforms. Well, at least most of them. I'm active on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Where else? Instagram, TikTok. So whatever your favorite platform is, chances are I'm probably on there. So here's my link to all my social links. So go to linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter, linktr.ee/DK Tech Recruiter for all my social links. And I'm posting a whole bunch of content throughout the week, pretty much daily on most of the platforms that I'm active on. So guaranteed you're going to get some value out of following me on whatever platform is your favorite one. Now, also a heads up for those of you who are getting back into attending in-person networking events. If you're a member of the Markham Board of Trade, I'm going to be at the Markham Board of Trade Breakfast Networking event, which is taking place tomorrow. It's going to be tomorrow. It's at the Markham Marriott, which is on Enterprise Boulevard. So if you're a member of the Markham Board of Trade or you want more information about that, just check out the website for the Markham Board of Trade. Now, I just wanted to clarify, I am not a speaker at this event. I'm going to be there as an attendee. I'm there to network with me, make my own new connections and stuff like that. So if any of you watching will be attending, I'm just saying I'd love to meet with you in person, shake hands. If you're not into shaking hands yet, because of the whole COVID thing, I'm fine with the peace sign or the Star Trek thing if you're into Star Trek. We don't have to shake hands and all that stuff. But the point is, I love to meet with you folks in person, get to know you, network with you, connect with you, and definitely love to hear about if you're a job seeker or even if you're an organization. Love to hear about your challenges, not only your challenges but also your wins, your successes, and just interact with you in person. All right, I love the in person events. So if you're attending, don't be shy. Feel free to say hi to me and be like, hey Dean, I know you from LinkedIn. Let's, just wanted to come say hi, whatever. Just don't need to make it anything fancy, folks. All right. So also make sure if you're active on LinkedIn, make sure you subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter for job search and recruitment tips and advice. I release a new newsletter episode every Monday during the afternoon. So Definitely make sure you subscribe to that. The link for that is also on my Linktree page, or just go to my LinkedIn profile. It's on the featured section, and you should be able to get access to that and subscribe. Now, this session is sponsored by Tech Recruiters 360, which is my recruitment business. So whether you're an IT professional in Canada, whether you're an organization looking to hire tech talent anywhere in Canada, I'm your guy. All right. So make sure you reach out. Don't be shy. Again, send me a direct message and let me know more about your situation. Whether you're an IT professional in Canada or whether you're an organization looking for tech talent, I'd love to hear more about your situation and see if there's any way I can personally assist you. And or if you just want to hear my ideas, right? Maybe you got a situation going on, whichever side of the hiring table you're at, you want to hear my thoughts about that, happy to do that as well. So feel free to send me a direct message, and I'm happy to connect with you further. All right. The session is also sponsored by DK Global Talent, which is my digital training course company. Applying to Jobs Online 101 is the course that I have recently released. And it's where I teach job seekers how to generate more responses to your job applications. All right. So if you want more information about that, if you're a job seeker, feel free to send me a direct message, or check out my website, dkglobaltalent.com/get responses, dkglobaltalent.com /get responses. Right. So we got some more comments here. Let's see. We got, so Sneha says, talk about your individual contributions as a job seeker, and as a hiring manager, I look to understand your individual contributions and failures. All right. So, I mean, fair enough. Right. So Sneha brings up a good point. She's like, hey, I look at individual contributions. Totally get that. So we got Pankaj in the house. Great. Hey, what's up, Pankaj? Good to have you here. Thanks so much for tuning in. We got Peter in the house, my friend Peter. By the way, folks, if you have an interest in PMO, okay, project management of project program management and PMO, and that whole side of things, this is a guy you want to follow. He's very involved in the PMO space, always talking about PMO stuff, and always involved in some type of PMO event. So you want to definitely connect with my friend Peter right here. So Peter says, hi, Dino. I was advised several times for me to focus on individual contribution. There's no we at interviews, only I. Even when talking about team results, you should highlight what you did. Great points there, Peter. I love hearing about what you folks think about this. So Shri Priya, so shout out to Shri Priya. Shri Priya says, I will say 50-50 depending on the work project. Sometimes we need team to work with, and sometimes we need individual contribution. Great point, Shri Priya. I totally agree with you on that. And we got my friend Ashwin in the house from YouTube. Shout out to Ashwin. Good to see you, Ashwin. And thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate your comment, and hope you are doing fantastic as well, my friend. Thanks so much for tuning in. So today's topic again, folks, is right at job interviews, should you be focusing on individual or team contributions? Now, before I get into my personal take on this, I wanted to share with you, quick story time. I like to talk about stories every now and then. But I wanted to share with you folks a quick story that really influenced, or actually I would say changed my viewpoint on this topic. Okay, so if we rewind back to, let's say, when did this situation happen? I think it was around 2017 when this incident happened that changed my perspective on this. But if you were to ask me this, 2017 or earlier, I would have been like, hey, 100% focus on your individual contributions. All right, 100% focus on your individual contributions. That's all that matters. They're hiring you, they're investing in you, they're paying you the salary and rate because they want to get something out of you as an individual. That's what I would have told you prior to 2017. Now, since 2017, and I'm going to get into the story of what exactly influenced my change in perspective in this thing is, since 2017, I would say, kind of like what Shri Priya said in the comments, is I would say both are important. All right, both are important, individual as well as team contributions. And again, it could depend on the type of role. It could depend on the type of the project. Could depend on the nature of the role and what exactly is involved as part of the project. Because some roles out there, obviously, folks, are more you're more so an individual contributor versus other roles out there that are more so team focused, right? A much stronger team involvement. So of course, although whatever you take out of my advice today, you got to also apply it to your situation and the type of role, type of project you're going to be involved in. But back in 2017, I was working in a staffing agency, and like I said, up until this point, my viewpoint was, hey, you got 100% talk about your individual contributions. That's all that matters. That is what the hiring manager, the hiring team wants to know about. That was my mindset at that point, right? So back in 2017, I was working at a staffing agency, and I remember this one week we had a hiring manager come in. One of our clients come in, and they were kind of giving a tour of the whole office, and they were there to talk a bit more about upcoming roles that they're going to need our help recruiting on, right? So it was an opportunity for us on the recruitment team as well as the sales team to find out, kind of further build that relationship, meet with the hiring manager, because obviously it's our client. And so we had this whole lunch and learn thing going on. Hey, side note, I love the lunch and learns, free food. Who doesn't like that, right? So in any case, I was there, and this client of ours, like, they were telling us more about the company, what's going on, some exciting projects that they had coming up. And then we started, as part of the recruitment team and the sales team, we started asking them more about, hey, what are you looking for in an ideal candidate? Like, we're trying to understand their thought process a bit more, right? So this hiring manager, it eventually started getting into, hey, what do you listen, like, what do you look for, what do you listen for when you're interviewing candidates? Like, and I think one of us asked, do you look more for individual contributions or team contributions? Like someone on the team literally asked this question, right? Now, this hiring manager gave the response that I was expecting. They were like, hey, I 100% look for individual contributions. If I'm going to be paying a salary or a rate to someone, I want to know what that I'm going to get an individual return and contribution from them. Like, I need to know what they're contributing to the project, what they have contributed in the past, what is their individual contribution, because that's what's gonna get allow them to get them the results required for this project or whatnot. So that was their perspective, right? And I was like in total agreement. I was kind of nodding my head, and I was like, yeah, obviously. I mean, yeah, that's what I've always been thinking, and that's pretty much what I've been advising a lot of people up until that point as well. You gotta hit home your individual contributions, right? That's what I thought. Now, fast forward after this, right? So that, and then especially after that whole feedback from that client, I was like, okay, I mean, it's all about individual contributions, right? Now, fast forward a couple of weeks, we had another client come in, right? Another client come into the office, similar situation. They wanted to talk about what's going on at their company, and some stuff going on, some upcoming roles that we're gonna have to recruit on, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this client, by the way, also a tech company, all right, also in the tech space. This was not like some vastly different industry or something like that. But this individual, like this client, when they came in, what they said was completely different. What they said was, what I look for when I'm speaking to and interviewing a candidate, what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for team contribution. That is what I'm mostly looking for. And if all they're doing is talking about, I did this, and I was responsible for this, I achieved this, I accomplished this, these were the results that I achieved. Uh, if that's all the candidate is talking about, I'm getting the impression that this is maybe someone who's doesn't work well in the team, someone who's maybe selfish, and someone who doesn't see themselves as part of a bigger picture, like someone who's an island, right? And someone who doesn't understand the value and doesn't appreciate their other team members, and then someone being part of a team, and blah blah blah, and et cetera, et cetera. This is what this client was saying, like something the total opposite of this other client that spoke to us a couple of weeks back. And this kind of made me think, because up until that point, like I said, I was only thinking about, hey, you only got to talk about your individual contributions, right? But the way that this particular client said it, it made me think, because I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, kind of makes sense, right? Like, if you're meeting with a hiring manager and this is their viewpoint and their standpoint, then you risk coming across as presenting yourself as someone who doesn't work as part of a team, or doesn't acknowledge or understand that they're part of a team, or who doesn't appreciate the other people on the team, and who doesn't appreciate the fact that, hey, whatever outcomes you're achieving might very well be dependent on the contributions of being part of a team, right? So this made me think, hey, you know what? Maybe talking about your team contributions is important as well. So anyway, since then, over the years, I've always asked this question from hiring managers and hiring teams, like my clients, from that point onwards, whenever, I'm recruiting on a role or a position, I'd always ask this question from that point on, because I saw that there is a flip side, that there are hiring managers out there that are looking more so from the team contribution, the collective standpoint, versus solely on the individual standpoint, right? Individual contributions. And over the years, what I've seen is it's a mix, folks, right? I mean, I haven't kept like any solid statistics on this. But I have seen that there's a mix. Like there's people out there that they, when I say people, I'm talking about hiring managers out there. Like there are hiring managers out there that lean more towards, okay, what is your individual contribution? What have you contributed as an individual? What are you capable of as an individual? There's definitely hiring managers out there from that viewpoint, right? But on the flip side, again, because I'm ever since then I'm always asking this question: individual or team contributions? What do you look for in an ideal candidate? And then on the flip side, there's those hiring managers out there that are looking for, hey, is this person a team player? Are they collaborative? Do they appreciate the fact that they are part of a team? Do they appreciate the fact that without their team members, they can't really accomplish what it is that they need to accomplish as individuals? Right. So I've seen this split. I've seen, hiring managers that are leaning towards more one side over the other, right? More so individual versus team, and also more so team versus individual. And then I've seen hiring managers out there that are kind of a blend of the two. They're like, look, I listen for both. It's both are important. You can't operate as an island. No man or woman operates as an island. You have to be part of a team. And at the same time, you got to be contributing as an individual as well. So this is what has greatly kind of influenced my viewpoint on this and how this has changed over the years as a recruiter. Because look, as a recruiter, we are mostly looking at individual contributions, right? Especially when you're working more so on the staffing agency, third party side of the equation, such as myself. You're mostly looking for individual contribution, right? But just because I'm looking at that as a recruiter does not mean the hiring manager is not going to be looking at, like, because look, folks, ultimately the ultimate decision maker is the hiring manager. That is the person who's going to be setting aside the budget, approving the budget, going ahead with the decision as to yes or no they want to move ahead with you, and potentially the person who's most closely going to be working with you day in and day out in this role, right? Whether it's in person, hybrid, remote, whatever. And also other team members, right? Other team members you're going to be closely working. I mean, ultimately, it's going to be up to them to decide on, hey, is this person someone that we want on our team? Or is this person going to mesh well with the team? So anyway, ultimately, most hiring managers, I mean, they're going to be there might be a split in opinion on this, right? Which is more important, individual contribution or team contribution, or is it a blend of the two? I mean, the debate can go on and on and on. And I'm sure if you Google it on Google, you're going to find a whole bunch of supporting data supporting each side in terms of which is more important. So my advice to you based on this, and again, this greatly influenced and changed my viewpoint on this. Look, there's hiring managers out there that are definitely going to be listening for both. All right. They're going to want to listen to and learn more about your individual contributions, what you contributed as an individual. But guess what, folks? I don't want you to rule yourself out to those hiring managers out there that are also going to be listening for, how the team collective, right? What were you a part of? How did you contribute as part of a team? What was the team collective? And how did the team help you achieve what you needed to achieve? Right. So my advice based on these experiences over the years, like, ever since I experienced this and I started asking this specific question, what is more important, individual or team contributions when you're interviewing candidates? My advice, folks, based on this is talk about both, right? You have nothing to lose by talking about both. And I would suggest that is something that you definitely want to cover, is not just your individual contributions, but also your team contributions. Because look, most of you out there, I mean, you're not, majority of you out there are not like some psychopaths or something, right? Like, you understand, even though you might be only talking about your individual contributions, 99% of you out there, despite that, you still understand the value of being a part of a team, obviously, right? You're interacting with other people on the team. Maybe certain team members are responsible for such, certain things in certain areas. You're responsible for your area. Then you got another team member responsible for a totally different area. And you all come together with your individual contributions to achieve whatever this output is, right? 99% of you understand the value of that. So my suggestion, talk about that standpoint as well, right? So how I would suggest is, when you're responding to these questions in terms of like, that require you to talk about, some project you worked on, or what you did, or something or the other. Now, the context of the question does matter, of course, right? Because if they specifically say, hey, Dean, what was your individual contribution in regards to, such and such and such, then obviously if they specifically say individual contribution, I want to talk about my individual contributions, right? But if it's a more of a broader question, right, where they're asking, hey, so on your resume it says you did project ABC, can you tell me more about that project and what you did? if it's more broader like that, then I would suggest first lay the groundwork by talking about the obviously the context regarding the project, but start with the team that you were part of, right? Talk about the team that you were part of. Hey, so in regards to project ABC, my team was responsible for blah blah blah. So and as part of this team, it was myself. I was part of the team, and then I was, let's say I'm a software developer. I say, so I was a part of the team. I was a senior developer on the team, but also on the team we had two business analysts, and we also had two business analysts, three project managers on because if it's a big project, and we had several intermediate and junior level developers on the team as well, right? So I want to kind of set the stage for what the team looked like. Then you can kind of transition into, okay, what was the team output? What was the desired output from the team? Then you can go into, okay, so as part of a team, we were we were expected to deliver on blah blah blah, do this and this and this and this and this and this. And that's when you want to transition into individual contribution, right? This is where you can kind of get into what you contributed as an individual, as part of the team, because you do not want to ignore your individual contribution, right? That's not what I'm saying. So when you're talking about the team, the collective, what you did as a group, I'm not saying ignore your individual contribution. I'm saying start with that and then get into the specifics of your individual contributions as an individual, because that's extremely important. But at the same time, we have to satisfy those hiring managers out there that want to know that you're someone that appreciates being part of a team, or how you fit into a team, that you're collaborative and blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera. So knowing that that's satisfied, that perspective is satisfied, we now want to get into the individual contributions, right? So that's where you get into, as an individual, as part of this team, I was responsible for XYZ, and this and this and this and this was what I was responsible for. These were the outcomes that I was expected to deliver on, and blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So again, my advice on this is, unless otherwise specified, unless they specifically say or asking a question whereas it's explain this project as part of a team versus hey, explain this project as an individual. If it's something very specific like that, then obviously you want to speak to whatever is specifically being asked. But outside of that, you want to talk about things from a team standpoint, in terms of you being part of a team, but also go deeper and dig deeper into the specifics of what also you delivered as an individual. So again, long story short, folks, here is, talk about both. All right, you have nothing to lose by talking about both. Individual contribution is extremely important. Team contribution is also important as well. And again, this could depend on the type of role, the type of project. Again, some of you out there, maybe you're working in a role that's more so highly individual like individual contributor focused. There are roles like that out there. Whereas others of you out there, it's more so you're going to be working as part of a team. You're going to be working with several people, several types of individuals. You want to show that you're a team player. You want to show that you understand the value of the collective as well. But then also do not ignore the individual contribution as well, because what you contributed as an individual is also extremely important, because you don't want to come across as someone that doesn't signify that stuff, because you have to communicate your own individual value as well, right? So look, that's my 2 cents on this, and that's my perspective on this. So summary, talk about both, folks. Talk about both. Talk about your individual contributions and talk about your team contributions as well. Why? Because there's hiring managers out there that don't just look at individual contributions. They're also listening for, hey, is this a team player? Is this a collaborative person? Is this someone who understands the value of collective team contributions and being part of a team? Or they might think, hey, all they're doing is talking about themselves. All they're talking about is me, I did this, and they're going to assume that you're not a team player, or you're someone that you're one of those people that might take credit for everything. And who knows what's going on in people's heads, right? I mean, so you want to communicate both individual contributions and team contributions, all right? So I hope that helps out there. Any questions, feel free to put in the comments. I'm going to open it up to questions at this point. By the way, if you have any questions, does not necessarily have to be related to today's topic. Could be anything recruitment, job search, resume, interview related. Feel free to drop your question in the comments. I'll get to your question shortly. And let's see, we have a comment here. So Sri Pierre says, yes, absolutely. At some point, we may not go ahead working individually. Then we need one of the team members, all the team, to go to the next level. That's the reason I said 50-50. Yeah, absolutely, Sri Pierre, right? I mean, not every role out there is a purely, strictly 100% individual contributor type of role, right? At some point, we have to, either we need assistance from team members, we have to collaborate with team members. You got to interact with other individuals, right, that are a part of the team. Like, you have to signify these things as well, because also as someone who's working in a role that is very much team oriented, this is also an opportunity for you to communicate how well you work as part of a team, right? Like, this is not just about you talking about being part of some big team or some team or something. Like, it's also an opportunity for you to show how you as an individual operate as part of a team and collaborate and work with other team members and different types of personalities maybe, and different types of skill sets and knowledge areas and areas of expertise and blah 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 and all this stuff. So it's very important to also discuss the collective, right? The collective, being part of the collective, the team, and what you contributed overall as part of a team. And going from there, that's where you get into your individual contributions and show the value you added to the team as an individual. Because ultimately, each of you as individuals, as part of a team, is what helps produce the ultimate outcome, right? So yeah, absolutely, Shripriya, and totally agree with that, and appreciate your comment there. So it looks like there's no other questions there. So I'm going to end the stream shortly. Appreciate everyone that tuned in, and thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you mark your calendars, folks. Every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone, I'm right here, live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. And I talk about various job search and recruitment related topics, and I respond to your questions, any questions you folks might have, recruitment or job search related, in the comments. So thanks so much for tuning in. And again, mark your calendars, Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone. I'm going to be right here next week as well, with my live stream. And again, for those of you who are attending the Markham Board of Trade Breakfast Networking event, it's an in-person event happening tomorrow at the Markham Marriott. If you are attending, don't be shy. If you see me around there, say hi. Would love to connect with you in person and get to know you more. Because I'm going to be there to expand my connections, folks. All right. So I'm always looking to connect with new people, especially people in the tech space, and because that's the area that I recruit in, and all that good stuff. So if you're going to be there, definitely look forward to meeting you there. Make sure you subscribe to my LinkedIn newsletter, and make sure you follow me and connect with me on LinkedIn as well. We'd love to make new connections. And again, if you're an organization looking to hire tech talent anywhere in Canada, or if you're an IT professional anywhere in Canada, we'd love to connect with you and see if there's any way I can personally assist you. All right. With that being said, I'm going to end the stream, unless there's another question here. Is there a question here? No, we got Ashwin says, thanks, Dean. See you next week. Hey, no worries, Ashwin. Always good to see you here, and I'll see you next week. Everyone have a fantastic week ahead. Stay positive, keep taking action, and I'll see you next week, folks. Take care.